Hello, so I have been away for a while. I've actually been on holiday with my family for the past 5 days. I came back last night from our holiday and now I am back to work today. It is now Thursday and tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, I have the Ashfield Show. So I'm finishing off a few bits that I need to do for the Ashfield Show. There's quite a few more bits that I want to make. I've made a little bit of a list for some things that I want to make. I do not expect to get all this done today, but I'm going to make a start on these things, and then these are the type of things that I'm going to be working on whilst at the Ashfield Show, whilst it's quiet here and there, and so that I can just tag them up and put them straight onto the table. But yeah, I don't have much to really talk about. Whilst I was on holiday, I did crochet a little bit. You would have seen me putting a few bits away. I think I made 10 Tank the Turtles, and then I just made like the bodies of some chubby frogs and the faces of some axolotls as well. So that means that a lot of things on this list, I've actually got the majority of it done. Like, I've done the majority of the crocheting side of it. It just means I need to put the eyes in them and then finish them off. So I might be able to get quite a few pieces done because I don't have to do them all start to finish, but we'll just see. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself because I know that in terms of markets, I've been very busy recently. I have this 3-day event this weekend, and then next weekend I also have another 3-day event. So yeah, I do need a lot of stock. I'm trying to remind myself that if I don't have so much stock, then I just don't have it. Like, I just need to stress less about it. I know it is obviously not great to not have much stock. I do have a good amount of stock. I have over £1,000 worth of stock, which is, it's okay. I wish I had more, but it is what it is. I can't change it now. The reason I don't have much stock is because I did very well at the last markets I did a few weekends ago, and because I also stock in 4 shops. It's a very busy period during the summer, but in September I will be able to just chill out a little bit. I'll have like a 3 or 4 week break, I think, in September, which I'm very, very excited for, where I'll be able to actually replenish a lot of stock in the shops and for my markets as well. But for now, I've just got to make do. I've already paid the fees to do these markets and I am excited to do them. I want to see what they're like, even if I don't do great because I haven't got the stock, but it's still good to see what these events will be like, so then I know which ones to do next year, because I don't want to do as many events next year. I want to really cherry pick the events and make sure I pick the best ones for me. So I'm still going to go to them just so I can kind of see how busy it is, see how many people are kind of interested in this sort of area. So for now, I'm going to make some pink Tank the Turtles. After I've done the Tank the Turtles, I'm going to work on some axolotls, some blue and some purple ones. I've only got 7 at the minute and I've only got pink and red ones. So yeah, I just want to make sure I've got a bit more variety in the axolotls and a higher number of those, maybe aim for about 15. Then after that, I'll probably make some duckies in frog hats because I know they sell well as well, and see what time we have left. If I've got more time, then I'll do some other items. I don't know. I don't want to try and plan too far ahead. I don't want to give myself too much of a to-do list in case I can't get it done. I just don't want to stress. I just want to get done what I can get done. Just be glad that I've got some stock to take with me. But for now, we're going to get into making some Tank the Turtles. So I am here over a week later. At the time I was so exhausted from doing the event that I didn't film, and then I just kind of forgot and it kept getting pushed back and back and back. But I am now here to give you a bit of a breakdown, a rundown of how the Ashfield show went for me. So you could see my setup. This was the first time that I used my gazebo and it was very easy to put up. I got mine from Bullhawk, I think it's called, and it was fantastic. We just got white and it was a very bright white which went perfectly with my displays and stuff like that. So that was great. That was still a good experience. There was a little bit of wind every now and then. I did have my sandbag weights and I had no problem. I did see a few other gazebos blown about a bit more, but mine was very stable and very good. So I'm very impressed with my gazebo as well. And very impressed that none of my plushies fell off, because I was worried that if there was like the slightest bit of wind, because they're so light, that they'd fall off. But luckily the wind wasn't like basically directly coming in to the gazebo. I put all my walls up so that as it came past it didn't come in and knock all my stuff off. So that was great. So into the actual market breakdown, selling breakdown stuff. So for the Ashfield show it was £25 per day, but if you book 3 days you got your third day free, so it only cost me £50 for the whole weekend. I did book on to do all 3 days of the Ashfield show. Back to that a little bit later. Before we get into the overall numbers of what I made, I thought I'd let you know my bestsellers, my top 3 bestsellers, and the numbers revolving around them. So my bestsellers were Chubby Frogs and I sold 20 of those, and that made me £140. As always, if you've watched my previous videos, that is no surprise to me because Chubby Frogs are usually my bestseller. So I'm not surprised that they were my bestseller again. I made sure that I had plenty of these. These were one of the only items that I wasn't running too low on. I was running low on a few of the Chubby Frogs, so like the lime green Smiles I think it was, and the avocado straight face ones, but in general as a whole I still had quite a few Chubby Frogs left over. My second bestseller were Tank the Turtles. Not a surprise yet again. I sold 16 of those and made £123 by selling those 16. I usually sell Tank the Turtles for £8 each, and selling 16 of an £8 item doesn't make £123. Just as a little explanation for that, for markets I do a 2 for £15 deal, so all of my £8 items are on a 2 for £15 deal, mix and match. My £8 items are Tank the Turtles, axolotls, octopus, and the duckies in frog hats. I think that's it that I've got left now. I used to have a lot more £8 items, but I've discontinued a few of them because I'm just not that interested in making them. I don't enjoy it as much, so I just stopped making them. But that deal still goes really well. And then my third best-selling item were axolotls, and I sold 15 of those and made £115 from selling those 15 axolotls as well. So I was very impressed. Not surprised at the bestsellers, not surprised in the order that they were in, because it does usually go chubby frogs, tank of turtles, and then axolotls. Duckies in frog hats are quite popular as well, but I didn't have any duckies in frog hats for the Ashfield show, so I've got no idea. When I have took them to events, I've not taken very many, but they've sold out very quickly. I have a feeling that if I made quite a few of the duckies in frog hats, that they would sell really well and they would be up there in the best sellers, potentially in the top 3. It might knock the axolotls down, but at the very least they'd definitely be in the top 5 best sellers. I also wanted to mention my highest priced item that sold. It was the jumbo elephant. I had that priced at £60, and someone bought that pretty last minute on the last day that we were there, probably about an hour and a half before we packed up and left. Someone bought that and it was great. I was very impressed that that happened. Now a breakdown of what we made on each day. So on the first day, which was the Friday, we made £260. On that day we were trading from 12 until 7, so that was a 7-hour day, and I was very impressed with that. I was honestly not expecting to even make that much. I was kind of expecting maybe around the £150 mark, which if you've watched my previous videos you'll also know that 3 times the store fee is also my minimum goal as well, or £150 a day, whichever's the highest. So obviously 3 times my store fee is £150, so that would be £150 over the weekend. But I also go by £150 per day, because if you're spending a whole day trading, you know, if I only made £150 over the weekend, that's £75 a day, and that's not even minimum wage if you were paid hourly to be there. So that's why I go for a minimum of £150 per day as well, because like once you've minused all your costs and stuff, it kind of works out. It's just a rough guide, but it's the rough guide that I follow. So in this case it would be that I'd want to make at least £150 per day, and I made 260. So I was very impressed with that and very happy with it, especially because it was a weekday, it was a Friday. But yeah, and then on the Saturday we made £440, which again I was very impressed with. I was a little bit worried about this event because it's not like a market specific event. I've only ever been to events that are for markets, like a market event, Makers Market event for example. I've never been to a festival, which is essentially what it was. It was called the Ashfield Show. It was basically a festival on the Sutton Lawns, because they had like the big stage, they had a lot of food, they had the fairground, and obviously the traders section as well. Most people come for the entertainment. I was a little worried that people weren't really going to buy, so I was very impressed to make £440 on the Saturday, and we traded from 10 until 7 on the Saturday. However, we were supposed to trade on the Sunday, but given the fact that we'd sold so much stuff, I made over £700 from those 2 days, which mostly was obviously small items. There were a few larger items as well, like the elephant. I also sold Freddy Bear, a ducky, an Eddie Teddy as well, I think some T-Rex and a turtle, like one of the larger turtles. So we still sold some of the bigger items, but the majority of that was obviously the smaller items. So my table was looking very bare by the end of Saturday. The weekend afterwards we had the balloon festival booked. Now for other reasons that got cancelled, we didn't attend that, because as I record this it's after we should have done the balloon festival, because I'm a little bit late to recording my breakdown here. Yeah, with that in mind, that we were supposed to be attending the balloon festival, which was another 3-day event, and then the week afterwards we were supposed to be doing the Devonshire Greens Festival, which is in Sheffield. That's only one day, but there's some big events that we had coming up and I needed to restock the shops that I'm stocked in. We decided to pull the gazebo down and not attend the third day. It was just the fact that if I didn't attend the market, it meant, well, one, I didn't have much else to sell, so I wasn't expecting to do as well as I did on the Saturday at all. Yes, maybe some bigger items might have sold, but another way to look at it is the more that I sold there, the less I had for my next event. But also the fact that if I didn't attend the event, I could really focus on making more items. I do crochet in between customers and in between people, you know, coming in and having a look and stuff, but that's a bit few and far between sometimes, especially when it gets really busy. I did do some crocheting while I was at the Ashfield Show. In fact, I was halfway through making one. I had one axolotl left. These two sisters both wanted an axolotl each, and their dad paid me for the axolotl I was in the middle of making, so I had to finish that, and they just like waited to the side while I finished that for them. So I was really quite low on a lot of things. Sold out of axolotls, nearly sold out of tank turtles. I think I had 5 left. I think I had about 4 octopus left, and then I think around maybe like 9 or 12 chubby frogs. That's because on the Friday I already had a lot of the chubby frog bodies, so I took them with me and just stuffed them and closed them up, and made like an extra 20 of them. So that's why I had quite a few chubby frogs, but apart from that, everything else had very little numbers of, or none at all, by the end of Saturday. And I didn't want to stay up really late on Saturday trying to restock and get as much done as possible, and then just stress myself out for the rest of the week trying to prepare for the balloon festival that I had on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like I said, we didn't do that event in the end for other reasons, but I'm still glad that we didn't stay at Ashfield Show for that extra day, that we had some family time together. We did go and watch the baseball game, and then I did a lot of work, and I'm glad that I did that regardless, even though we didn't attend the event that was planned the weekend after. As I'm recording this right now, I am getting ready for the next event, which is the Devonshire Greens event, and that is on the Saturday. It's just a one day. Definitely I'm going to that one, and I'm very excited for it. I've still not got much stock. I've got less than £1,000 worth of stock, which for me, I always aim for a minimum of £1,500 worth of stock to take to a market. So for me, this still isn't that much stock, but it is what it is. And I think I've been quite strategic in what I make to make sure I've just at least got a little bit of everything to have on the table, and I'm very excited for that. But yeah, in total at the Ashfield Show we made over £700. We actually made £705 if you're wondering, and yeah, I had a great time, absolutely loved it. In the beginning I was a bit doubtful because I didn't think the organisation went that well, if I'm completely honest. But now I've actually done the event, I think I will definitely consider doing it again next year. It was a really good one. I really enjoyed it because it's in Nottinghamshire and it's a big festival. Actually, I had a few people come and see me there as well that I knew, like my mum and my partner's parents as well, and my partner came with our children as well, because we live in Nottinghamshire and Ashfield is in Nottinghamshire, so it wasn't too far for them to travel and come and see me at the event and then also have some fun there since it was such a big event. So it was very nice, and yeah, I think I'll definitely consider doing it again next year. I think I'd like it a bit more if the organisers are different next year, but even if they're the same, now that I've been, now that I know exactly how it works there, exactly what entrance to like go in, because we were struggling with that in the beginning of actually how the traders got into the event. But yeah, now that I've experienced the event, I think I'd definitely do it again. But I will say, in the beginning I wasn't too impressed with the organisers of this event, but am aware that it was a huge event and a lot to organise, a lot to do, so I don't blame them too much. I had a great time and a successful time, so very, very happy with how we did at the Ashfield Show. But that is all that I have for today's video, so thank you so much for watching, thank you for staying till the end. Please bear with me with these videos because I've been very busy in personal life and in the business as well. I'm finding it very difficult to keep recording a lot of things. Sometimes I can't work till really late in the evening, so it's not very good lighting. I feel like this video has been a little bit sporadic, so I apologise for that, but I am glad that you watched till the end, so thank you for that. And if you liked it, then please do give it a like, and if you've got anything that you want to talk about in the comments, I respond to the majority of my comments, so please feel free to start a conversation if you want to, and give me any suggestions on what videos you want to see from me. What sort of things do you want to see in my studio vlogs? Is there a different type of video that you want to see from me? Do let me know and I will be sure to take that on board. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe as well so you don't miss my future uploads. I post a studio vlog every week. Every now and then it might be a little bit different, it might not be a studio vlog, but for now, especially when I'm in the busy periods, it's definitely a lot of studio vlogs that are coming onto my channel. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, then please do subscribe as well so that you can see my future videos. I really appreciate that you stayed till the end, and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.